Joining us on the show, we have Mayuresh Joshi of Angel Broking to answer all of the stock queries, and we have Feroz Aziz of Anand Rathi Financial Services as our personal finance expert today. I think we can get to our first caller in just a bit. We have Usha Garg, who calls in from Rajasthan, and she has some investments in Sesa Sterlite. Usha, go ahead. Usha?
हाँ जी मैम.
आपका सवाल?
मैम सोसा स्टेरलाइट के 100 शेयर हैं 260 रुपए में.
ओके.
और इसमें मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ कि इसमें बने रहूँ या अभी एग्जिट कर दूँ.
आप कितने टाइम के लिए वेट कर सकते हो?
मैम 1 साल के लिए.
1 साल के लिए. ओके Mayuresh, 250 is the buy price and the quantity is 100. And Usha doesn't mind holding on for a year. Do you think there can be some retracement on Sesa Sterlite?
Afternoon, clearly, I think after the fall that we probably witnessed was on obvious grounds. Realizations probably coming down, and there were concerns on terms of what growth the company can probably offer. But if the investor can probably just extend that time horizon a little bit longer, maybe a couple of years, we are pretty sure that Sesa Sterlite probably can deliver returns in excess of our cost price. So clearly, I think one of the lowest producers, and the fixed cost absorption has been pretty good for Sesa Sterlite. Once the commodity prices probably start inching up, probably from next year, I think you'll see an exponential increase in earnings as well. So probably hold on for the next couple of years. I think you'll need to extend your time horizon, but pretty sure that Sesa Sterlite will exceed our buying price.
We have Asha who calls us from Bangalore, and she's on the phone line. Hi Asha.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Asha from Bangalore.
Good afternoon Asha, how can we help you?
I am a fresher, and I would like to invest in the share market for a period of 6 to 8 months. Wanted to know the best stocks and what will be the marginal profit I can expect.
All right, Asha, 6 to 8 months. You can't extend the time horizon because it's the stock market is moving around quite a bit in the last few days. So only 6 to 8 months. Can you extend it to a year and a half?
Maybe yeah, 1 year is also fine.
It helps with regard to the capital gains as well. So let's go across to Mayuresh first. Mayuresh, she wants to invest a lakh. She's a fresher, as she stated, but time horizon only 6 to 8 months. What do you think?
Afternoon, Nigel. I think clearly, as you were mentioning, a year should be a good enough time horizon, also from the tax benefit angle, as you were mentioning. Again, I think the kind of allocation that we can probably make can be clearly towards the financials and the auto space. Those two spaces is something that we feel can ride the earnings momentum once the interest rate cycle starts reversing. So in my opinion, I think FY16 numbers for banks like an Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank can be really exponential, and FY17 rollover numbers would even be better in terms of return on assets or return on equities. Similarly, within the auto space, probably I think Maruti, Eicher Motors of declines can be reasonable bets. And again, a reasonable exposure can be probably taken towards the cement space as well. So I think something like a JK Lakshmi, a Mangalam or an ACC on declines can be looked at. So either of these sectors, either of these stocks, the investor can probably look at with a time horizon of a year.
Okay, time horizon of a year. But let's get to our next caller then. We have Shalini Mathur who calls in from Pune. She has a personal finance query. Shalini, go ahead.
Hello. Good
Hi,
afternoon,
Shalini.
and very happy 2015.
Wish you the same.
Thank you. I'm invested in UTI Master Share and a dividend option. I would like to know if there's any other fund similar to that, because I don't see the performance is so good now.
Okay.
I believe it's an average performance.
Okay. How long have you been invested in this UTI Master Share?
Quite a few years.
Okay. Feroz?
Yeah, Shalini, I think it's very good that you've been invested in a fund like a UTI Master Share for so long, right? It is an old fund and you've been invested patiently through the volatile times is why I think you would have made decent amount of profits. The fund, like you rightly pointed, it's a mediocre kind of a fund. It's not doing stupendously well. What, 43% return over the last 1 year. Last 1 year has been good, but yeah, relative comparison with peer group hasn't been so good. So I think you should move your money to an SBI Blue Chip fund, which also has a similar objective of investing in large cap stocks, and I think that'll certainly do better over the next 3-4 years than a UTI Master Share. One more thing which I would want to give you a suggestion is that you are sticking on to a dividend option. I think you should move it from a dividend to a growth option, because that's what will give you the compounding impact over long periods of time. You have invested for longer periods of time, but a growth option definitely gives you a cumulative gain, and power of compounding comes to your benefit. So move it to the dividend growth option of the SBI Blue Chip Fund to get a better return. Shalini.
We have Siddharth, who writes to us from Bangalore. He wants to, he has a query on Nigel.
I think he wants to invest. He wants to invest.
Yeah. He has an SMS. I think we have an SMS coming in from Rajiv Kapoor. He writes to us from Hyderabad. He wants to start investing with a minimum of 5,000 rupees. He was thinking of starting off with a life insurance policy, and he wants suggestions on the same.
Rajiv, if you want to actually invest, and then investment and insurance are two separate objectives. So I think when it comes to investments, you should focus on mutual funds. When it comes to insurance, you should buy yourself a term plan rather than buying a life insurance policy and expect a ULIP, basically unit-linked insurance plan, and expect some inflows over the last fag end of the period of the product. You're better off actually buying yourself a term plan and buying yourself some mutual funds. So in the mutual fund category, for your 5,000 rupees, assuming it's 5,000 rupees every month, I would suggest two funds for you. Birla Frontline Equity Fund, which is a large cap fund, and on the mid cap category, I think you can look at a HDFC mid cap. Alongside this, if you buy yourself a HDFC Click to Protect plan online, that will be the most cost efficient insurance which can cover yourself because you have a 5 lakh rupee kind of a per annum income which has been written in your SMS. I think you will be able to get a reasonably good cost on the cover of about 50 lakhs, which is what you should do, Rajiv.
All right, then, that's some valid advice coming in. But the Nifty is moving towards the high point of the day. So take a look at the Nifty. It's higher by close to around 8 points. So I'd pull up SBI. I think that stock is doing most of the firefighting for the Nifty because that's one of the heavyweights. It's moved higher. Coal India as well. The stock was so much of negative news over the last few days, but the stock, in fact, has been quite relentless because it's not moving lower. And take a look at BHEL. That stock, in fact, has spiked up in the last few minutes. So good going for the Nifty. At least there is a possibility that we can end in the green. But we have another query that's coming. So Naresh Kumar Gupta calls us from Haryana, and he has some investments in HDFC. Hi sir, good afternoon.
Yes.
Sir, आपका सवाल क्या है?
मैं तांबे बोल रहा हूँ एक्चुअली.
All right, Mr. तांबे, आपका सवाल क्या है?
मेरा सवाल 2-3 क्वेरीज है मेरे पास. एक्चुअली HDIL 100 shares.
Okay.
96 rate.
96 rate, all right.
Yeah. Then Patel Engineering.
Ooh, okay.
At the rate of 115.
At the rate of 115, sir. How many shares?
500.
Superb, okay.
Then Snowman Logistics.
Yes, sir.
500 shares at 100 rate.
Superb, all right. And you've been holding these shares for quite some time.
I'm holding last nearly 1 month.
Okay.
And actually, what rate will be? I want a rate up to 120 at Patel Engineering.
Okay. So just give us a time horizon. How long can you hold these shares? You've held it for around a month. You're saying, can you hold it for 1 year?
Not 1 year.
Oh.
But up to March, April will be okay.
Okay, Mr. Dambe, let's try to help you on this one. Mayuresh, let's get you in. He's got 3 stocks. He's got Patel Engineering, HDIL, as well as Snowman Logistics. Anything you'll tell him to stay with, or will you tell him to book some losses?
Again, Nigel, I think too short a time horizon probably, and looking at the volatility in the markets, it is best for a technical guy to probably advise him. But again, clearly, I think within the logistics space, Snowman has moved up in a big way, so valuations are not supportive. So he can probably look at booking profits if he's into profits in Snowman Logistics. Looks at banks on declines, as I've been mentioning, or the auto ancillary companies. And clearly within HDIL, again, I think there's some amount of regulatory issues going on there. So I think the best way probably to play this sector would be through the housing finance companies. Okay. So our take is probably, I think, stick around with housing finance companies, and valuations of Snowman are looking stretched. So I think go for private sector banks on declines.
Sure. Disclosures?
Ekta, the stocks that we have discussed, I do not have any personal holdings, but clearly we might have discussed all these stocks with our clients.
All right, Mayuresh. Thanks very much for joining in and taking us through all of those queries. And Feroz, thanks to you as well for taking us through all of those queries.